Hi everyone, Kevin Perline here. Today I want to share with you something very different. It's an incredibly powerful standing meditation known as Juang. It's ancient as far as I know. I mean, 1,000, 2,000 years old. I don't even know if anybody knows for sure, but it's been around a long time. There are many, many forms of standing meditations. And this one itself, when practiced with regularity, brings about energizing to the body. It helps strengthen our legs. It helps reduce stress. It helps make us feel more in balance. It helps us breathe better. And the idea behind, this particular, technique is really about being rooted, feeling ourselves to the ground and connecting to the ground. Because oftentimes we're not rooted, and in terms of our bodies, we struggle. And part of this exercise is to help us reconnect with actually our bone structure so that can support us versus our muscles, because at times when we're getting stressed and anxious, we use our muscles. We start to lean a little forward. Now I'm not using my bones, I'm using muscles to support me. And that can be exhausting, and we don't even know we're doing it. So the exercise itself, Juang, standing like a tree. I'm going to share with you the first two positions today. And you can choose which one you'd like to work on. There's all kinds of literature material out there talking about how much time to stand for. I like to start out with 2 or 3 minutes as a beginning practice. Some people will say anywhere from 2 minutes to 2 hours. I think it's really up to the individual. It's something that you slowly build with. So for example, if right now you're ready to do 2 minutes, in a week from now, you do 2.5 minutes. In another week, maybe you do 3. Maybe you pause for a couple of weeks and maybe you'll go to 3.5. Maybe you'll find 3 is ideal for you. There is no one, this is it. You find what works for you. What I can say is that people report all over the world who do this, and they do it consistently. And when I say consistently, I don't mean for 3 days. I don't mean for 2 weeks. I mean, they're doing it month after month. They all report incredible physiological and emotional and psychological shifts in who they are and how they move through the world and how much more adaptable they are and more grounded they feel. With that, let me share it with you. The exercise itself, the position number 1 is going to look like this. It doesn't seem like much, and there's a lot here, so I'd like to share with you. My feet are roughly shoulder width apart. My knees are ever so slightly bent. I don't want to lock the joints. My hips, from here, I'm going to use my hands, and I'm basically going to put my thumbs on the front of my hip and with my fingers behind. And what I want is just a little bit of a rotation so that my fingers start to come forward and my thumbs go back so that I can elongate the lower back. From here, it's just a slight shift. For me, I just felt my lower back just lengthen. That's all I need. I don't need to be pushing my hips way out there, my belly way out there. I'm just here, place the hands, just a little rotation, elongate the back. The chest is forward. Shoulders, I want to kind of get them in alignment. I want to lift, roll the shoulder blades together, and just allow the hands to lower. My hands now are pretty much fingertips towards my thighs. The head, I don't want to be leaning back. I don't want to be folding forward. I really just want to look to see here too. Can I just push in just a little bit and elongate the back of the neck? There's some schools of thought that will give you there's a string on the top of your head and it's just kind of pulling you up. I'm just looking to see, for me, I like to just physically touch and just give a little push. Now when I do that, I got to get my shoulders back, but that's okay. My weight itself is pretty much centered on the balls of my feet. You will find that there are many different schools of thought regarding the weight distribution for stand like a tree. Some people will have a little bit more weight to the heels. Some will have a little bit more weight to the balls of the foot. That you can play with. I would encourage you to start with just having your weight centered right down the center of your foot and just being balanced. Here's my foot and on the center. Okay. Eventually, if this is my heel, you can play with going this way a little bit. You can play going this way towards the toes a little bit. But for now, just want to center. So once again, I'll just shake it out. Feet are shoulder width apart. Knees are slightly bent. Hips, elongate the spine, just roll under. Shoulders back. and down. Head, just elongate a little bit. The breathing is in and out through the nose, and my focus of attention, as was taught to me, is we should be, if possible, if we're not outside doing this, kind of stand by a window if you can, look outside, find a tree, and kind of focus on the base of the tree and think about the roots. Hence the whole concept of being rooted. Think about the root system that's supporting that tree and how that tree is firmly grounded and supported by that root system. My feet are the roots, okay? I'm looking to use my bone structure as the trunk of the tree to support myself, not my muscles. So I'm here, and I just look at that root of the tree, and I just breathe. Now, one last piece too, you can have your arms relaxed. I like to think of almost like a little exercise ball placed under here, or I can take my hand, make a fist, turn it sideways, place it in between my upper ribs and my bicep, so that I have this little gap here on both sides. You'll find that perhaps there'll be a little tension in your shoulders. You just have to kind of roll it and relax it. And this too could be a variation of position number one. So I could be here if that's my starting point. If I would like to go a little further, I can get to having little exercise balls or a fist distance here. And I just stand here. And I breathe in and out through the nose. And I just stand. Hence, stand like a tree. It's also known as, in some places, pole standing and such. Position 2 looks like this. The torso is, everything is still the same, but what I'm going to do from here is, my hands are going to come up to about shoulder height. My elbows, you'll notice, are lower than my hands. The hands are just relaxed, as if I'm holding an exercise, one of those big round exercise balls here, and I'm just holding it here. And I just hold. And then when I'm done with this position, I can just return back to number 1. So here's 1, here's variation 1, here's number 2. Fingers are relaxed, pointed kind of downward, angled a little bit. Elbows are below the hands themselves. And I'm still looking at that tree. Breathing is natural in and out through the nose. Don't worry about any breathing pattern, just breathe well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn and face outside, and I'm just going to do, say, a minute in each positions, okay? I'm just going to do position 1, and then go to position 2, and then we'll return and just finish from there, okay? So I'm going to turn sideways, looking at a tree. I've got a tree in my view. Hopefully you have a tree in yours. And I'm going to get into position 1. I'm just going to walk you through that again. Feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, hips, elongate the lower back, shoulders back and down, elongate the neck. I'm going to choose to go with basic position 1 here. Fingers are relaxed, pointing down, and we're just going to begin 1 minute now. Position 2. return to position 1 to conclude. Several quick little points. You really want to think about sinking. Can I sink? Okay, and that's just something to play with. Second, you will find that your body might start to find the little twitch muscles may start to kind of get you swaying a little bit. That is normal. Just recognize that you are starting to sway and see if you can bring it out of the sway. Don't worry if you can't. Third and most important, if you're feeling pain, then odds are you need to kind of step back, maybe do a little less time. You shouldn't feel pain. A little discomfort, especially as in trying to understand balance. Perhaps, for many of us, the first time to really explore it in a long, long time. But recognize that if it hurts, it's not good. Like exercise in itself. There's discomfort and then there's pain. If you're feeling pain, please ease back on the amount of time and just slowly increase as your body becomes adjusted to it. If you have any questions, please write it in the comments. I'm happy to address it. I will come back to this in another video, give some more fine-tuning points. I encourage you to just start out with 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. Do not push the envelope here just because you feel you can do it. Enjoy it. Stand like a tree.